Hey guys, how are you doing? I want to welcome you to Office Hours with Bob Ross. This is episode number 23. Now, with all that's going on right now, and I'm sure that many of us musicians, educators are being affected right now, plus many, many more people in different fields. The topic for today has shifted a bit. So what I want to talk about today has to do with exactly what at least I am thinking about when it comes to dealing with all of us that are affected by, especially musicians, because that's how I make a living, how we're being affected by COVID-19 and the approach that at least I'm going to take on this, which may overlap with others. So, the thing is, not only have many musicians lost gigs at this point, had gig cancellations or tour cancellations, also, your teaching opportunities may have dwindled down as well. And over the past few years, I've really wanted to strive more and more for the online community aspect and working with live streaming as well as platforms like musiclessons.com. And I still want to go out, I want to perform. I know that may be an issue for a while. I don't know how long. Because, of course, if not only do you have to think, well, if everything starts to go back to normal, and it very well could take a while, most likely the venues are not going to hire music back in right away because they have to recoup the losses, depending on the type of venue, I would suppose. And I mean, I can't speak to all the venues. I don't know what their approaches may be. But in my mind, it makes sense that if your business has been shut down for a while or affected by a lack of customers coming in, the thing that's least on your mind is probably going to be providing music for people coming in, even once they start to get clientele back in. So I've been seeing some things out there with people looking to do live streams as far as with performing, and I've always wanted to implement that. And the only issue that I had found was the monetization part of this. Trying to monetize those type of events that you can host in a live stream format. Now, I'm seeing some things out there in regards to Venmo and PayPal putting up something to where people can give money if they would like. I'm seeing Patreon, which, Patreon's been around for a while. Some people mention YouTube, and you can do super chats on YouTube, but you have to qualify, as far as having the monetization capability on YouTube. You have to meet those guidelines, which some of us, over the past few years, maybe we've lost the ability to do that based on the minutes watched combined with the amount of subscribers that we have. So, I'm always up for suggestions on that. I think that there's some things that have caught my attention on how to handle that aspect of it. But definitely, I mean, if I totally agree with the idea of, continue to perform to whatever degree you can, even if it's to a live streaming based format. That way, hopefully we can still provide entertainment, and hopefully we can make it so if people are willing and are able to, because a lot of people are most likely this is going to have a pretty big effect, that they will be able to give some sort of money, some amount of money to help some of us that are very dependent on the gigs and the teaching opportunities, which may fade off for a little bit. So the other thing that that I'm thinking about, at least, and for me, you know, and what I want to do, let me make mention of this. I've put out a lot of things on YouTube over the past, I don't know how many years, since 2017 maybe, I think is when I was putting out a lot of educational based videos, where I had Technique Tuesday, Bob Ross and the Art of Guitar. There's been some other videos that I've put out that maybe don't fall under those titles, where I have a multitude of different aspects of maybe, you know, certain techniques, or maybe concepts for improvisation, or how I look at the instrument. I have a lot of those videos accessible to whoever wants to be able to access those on YouTube, as well as a lot of performance videos. And I have a ton of video recorded over the last 3 years that I have not even began to go back and break up into files that I can upload yet. So if you're looking for something that may help, if you have interest in it yourself, or if you have students that you think may benefit from checking out some of those videos, then I'm going to put a link in the description so that you'll be able to check that out. And it applies to a multitude of levels in some regard. I mean, there's some things that are a little bit more advanced, but I think just for those that are interested in trying to search something out for educational purpose, dealing with guitar, and specifically, you know, dealing with improvisational based things with guitar, you know, hence jazz guitar, which could also be applied to other aspects of or other genres of music. It doesn't have to be jazz. It could apply to other things too. But I think that you may find that beneficial. And again, these things are free, as well as what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm creating this, you know, podcast / meetup that's available not only to listen to, but to be able to view over and over again on musiclessons.com. And as I said in the beginning, this is episode number 23. I have 23 of these videos after this one finishes today that you could go back and check out, that also addresses a multitude of topics and questions that many people have asked me over the years, or continue to ask me. So, you know, go back, take a listen to these things. Feel free to reach out to me if there's questions about any of these things, you know, like the videos, or if you're listening through podcast format, you know, reach out to me. Let me know if you have questions. I'll be happy to interact. And the thing is, again, I want to remind you that on this platform that I'm hosting this on right now, musiclessons.com, you can interact with me. This is a meetup, and you can come onto the platform for free, and we can engage in a group setting, and we can bounce ideas back and forth, ask questions, and get some different insights, which, you know, that's been the goal, is to try to build this online platform for myself more and more, because right now it's becoming, I feel, pretty important, but also in the long term of how things are progressing, technology is in a place where, you know, we can reach out to each other pretty easily all over the world. So I just want to make you aware that having the ability to interact with each other in this format would be great. So at any point you can join me, and I try to do my best to keep it at the time of, you know, Sundays at 1 p.m. Sometimes there's a little bit of a schedule shift and it adjusts a bit, but it's always available to come back and watch, or to listen to in a podcast format. And you know, the more the merrier on this. You know, having you guys on here to interact with me is a plus as well. Now, another a couple things that I want to mention is I do, or I can, I do have some space that, or some slots in my schedule that's open for me to do some online teaching. And if you guys want to use the platform here on musiclessons.com to do a meetup, I can do that. I can also go through Skype as well to engage. So I'm definitely open to that. Reach out to me. You know, you can go to my website, www.bobrosguitar.com, to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to accommodate and work out something that would work for both of our schedules. Also, any of the lessons and courses that I have available on musiclessons.com, just keep an eye out for these, because there's a chance that I'm going to run, like I am currently. I have a promotion on my course on intervallic chords. I will continue to run these promotions at least for the next couple weeks, and just stay alert for those. That way you can see what I'm making available as far as lessons and or courses. So obviously this is a very unfamiliar space that we're going into. Luckily, speaking for myself again, I at this point haven't had a lot of cancellations as far as gigs go. I do teach at a university that is currently going to be shut down for the rest of the semester. However, we're still doing online meetups, and I'm going to use the platform on musiclessons.com to do so. That way I can record it, and they can go back and watch and pick up anything that they might have missed in the moment. And there's an academy that I work with that, luckily, we're on spring break this next coming week. I don't know what's going to happen after that, and we'll see what happens. I teach online, so that's definitely a positive. I'm very aware that things can change up based on what happens with the economy next. I've had one gig cancellation so far. I know many other musicians have had many gig cancellations. I have, based on time that I've been taking with family over, the rest of this month to throughout April, my gig schedule, wasn't a heavy amount of gigs, but after that it starts to open back up again, where I have multiple dates scheduled, and I don't know what's going to happen yet. I'm starting to receive, some hints that things may be canceled out depending on how the business does for the venues. So overall, none of us know what's going to happen next, but to the extent that we can, let's continue to use these online resources and platforms in order to help out the best way that we can, to help people continue to maybe focus their mind on getting better at some aspect of music, learning more. Take this opportunity to work on the things that you feel like you need to work on, because at some point, we'll have the opportunity to get out there again and put our musician skills to the test again, going out and gigging. This is just working a different aspect of what we do, as far as our careers as musicians. This puts a new challenge on us, and it's important to be challenged so we can progress, and if we deal with something like this again, that we have the ability to understand how to accommodate. I, just as with anybody else, I wish that these were better circumstances, and the challenge wasn't brought on by something that definitely is having a very negative impact on people's lives. But we can push through this, and now is a great opportunity to work on the things that you need to work on, because hopefully in the near future we'll be out there again, and all the things that you're working on right now as far as your music business skills, as far as, working on things with teaching, your ability to play the instrument, working on your own voice on the instrument. These things will, come to fruition in the coming months, hopefully sooner than later. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to continue to do my meetups every week, just like I have been. This is the 23rd week that I've done this, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I hope that you guys can join me and we get some discussions going on, and we, can make it into a very positive thing. Again, I'm going to put a link out there so you guys will be able to track me down, whether it's on YouTube or musiclessons.com. And I want to thank you guys for your support, and hang in there, But thanks again for joining me for another episode of Office Hours with Bob Ross, and I hope to talk with you guys soon.